May 6th, 2026. It's 54 degrees. It's about, well, right around noonish. It's overcast and gray, and it rained all last night. Like I said, it was down in the 40s last night. It was kind of cold. It's not the best day in the world to be riding, but I tell you what, any day you can ride, you get out and you do it, okay? This is, here again, we're just out here between these farm roads, these old field roads. This is actually a semi-paved road. It's washed out. It's got potholes, and it's a typical Illinois country road. It's just not a super highway, okay? Now, just want to take this time. It's the old KLE. If you can see that, 599 miles. This is a 600-mile review on the KLE. Now, the KLE, let me tell you what it ain't. And then I'll tell you what it is. You'll be saying, well, hey, you're just talking in circles. Okay, the KLE ain't a dirt bike. The KLE is not a highway bike. Okay, and you're saying, well, that don't make any sense. Well, here's the deal. Now, for long range and hard riding, the KLE wasn't built for that. KLE's to average between 50 and 65, maybe 70 mile an hour. 70's pushing it, and you can do that pretty much all day long. Okay, but it's 424 pounds or something like that, and so it's a little light. It has good suspension on it. The suspension works good. It works great. It works fine. But if you're going to do a lot of road riding, that's got some typical Illinois roads, humps and bumps. Every Illinois road has either potholes or whoops. Okay, there's no flat roads in Illinois. So, but the suspension on it, like I said, as long as you do it in a moderate manner, in a moderate way, it works fine, okay? It is not made for jumping. It is not made for you know, like I said, massive overland roads. It's a good bike. It's a 500 class machine. Treat it like a 500 class machine, okay? And that's all I've always said. If you want a road bike, buy a road bike. Now, I would not be afraid to take this bike and go anywhere in the country I want to go to. And I will. But the thing of it is, I'm not going to, number one, this is my number one rule, and this should govern everything that you do. Don't get in a hurry. Because anytime you get in a hurry, that's where you start screwing up, and that's where you make small errors that turn into big major errors, okay? So if I was going to take this thing, and I know I want to go to Oklahoma this year, see a friend of mine. But I'm gonna make it a 2-day trip, get down there. If I do make it in one day, I'm going to leave real early in the morning, okay? And I'm going to make frequent stops, a lot of frequent stops. I'm not going to try to do no iron butt. I'm just going to get out there and I'm going to enjoy my ride. If I get there in the evening after dark, that's fine. Okay, and it's only about 10 hours, something like that, 9.5, 8, 9, something like that. But just depending on how you want to drive. But I'm going to take my time. So, frequent stops, frequent rest, stop and enjoy what you're doing. This bike is great. You want to do an iron butt? Yeah, it ain't worth shit. Okay, now this is an adventure bike. It is made for the highway. It is made for some off-road gravel. Okay, the key here is 2-track. It's great for 2-track. You know, when you start getting into single tracks, okay, if you've got some real smooth single tracks, yes, it'd do it. But if it's any kind of rough at all, I wouldn't do it. I'm gonna put this out there, and I know you've seen dozens and dozens and dozens of videos. These guys out there taking these adventure bikes and riding them like dirt bikes. Well, that's stupid. Yeah, I'm just plain simple. That is stupid. Buy the bike for what you're going to ride, okay? This adventure bike is for some highway, it's for some gravel roads, off-road, back roads. But now here's the thing. Whenever you're riding a back road, or even, we don't have any BDRs in Illinois, okay? We don't need them. Our roads are shitty enough that they're BDRs in themselves. But if you're riding a BDR, just figure on one thing. Just figure you're going to run into anything and everything you can. Just always think of Murphy's Law. Anything can screw up will screw up. That's what you need to think about when you ride a BDR. Anything can screw up will screw up. Be prepared, okay? And number one rule on any BDR, any ride you go on, number one rule is don't get in a hurry, okay? So much of these advertisers are misleading. They get you out there and they show you, well, this Dakar race rally, this bike is faster than that. What they don't tell you is all these bikes they've got set up for the Dakar race rally are not stock bikes. I'm sorry, they're not. Because they're trying to cross two worlds. You're trying to cross a race bike that's set up for, off-road, to something you're trying to sell to people that is street legal. They ain't the same bike, they ain't the same creature. So anyway, 600-mile review on the klr500. Buy this bike for what you're going to use it for. Buy this bike for what it was designed for. It was designed to get out there, and it is super, super, super easy to handle. I rode the 500 Honda X, and I loved it, okay? I just loved it. I loved it. And I was going to buy it. But then when I went back to buy it, they'd already sold it. Then the new models had traction control, and you know how I feel about riding a chip. I ain't riding no damn chip. I don't want them. That's just me. So anyway, and then I heard that the KLE was coming out. The guy had one that called me, and I went and looked at it, and I thought, and I am so glad. I mean, like I said, I love Hondas, don't get me wrong, but I am so glad I did not buy the Honda, and I bought the KLE instead. It's a difference night and day. The 500X, great bike. I loved it. But you could tell the capabilities up when you started taking those two 19-inch wheels off and getting them in gravel. It didn't like loose gravel. The mag wheels weren't built for, any rough road, and the way it handled, it would turn on a dime. This thing here, it is made to do some off-road, just the way it's set up, the suspension and all that crap. And it's a perfect bike for what I'm using it for. I'm using it for an adventure bike. I'm not using it for a dirt bike. I'm not using it for a road cruiser. I'm not using it for a racer. It's a dual sport or adventure bike. But anyway, this bike here handles as good, if not better, than the X did. The X would turn on a dime, okay? This thing here will turn on a dime and give you 9 cents change. It is that easy to handle. The weight is great. It's flickable. You can do about most anything with it. I was kind of worried about the 17-inch rear wheel. I know why they put the 17-inch rear wheel on there, and it works. Everybody says, the first thing I'd do would be change to 18. Leave it the hell alone, okay? And here's why I'm saying that. It is made for 17-inch rear wheel, so you can take that high rev motor and still get low end torque out of it. That's all it is. So that's what I'm saying. If you get anything above 65 mile an hour, you might be pushing the revs a little high, okay? But hell, it's made to go, what, damn near 11 and a half, 10, I don't know. So you're not going to hurt it, but I don't like doing it. This bike here, now, I don't recommend bikes, but I tell you what, if you can only have one bike, you can only afford one bike, and you want to get into just a little bit of everything and not get real passionate about anything, but you want to do a little bit of everything, this is the bike. I'm sorry. I love Hondas pieces, but Kawasaki, They hit it. They hit it. This is the bike. Now, you know, is this going to be my single track bike? Hell no. Is this going to be my iron butt bike? Hell no. But if this is the bike that you need or you want, if you just want to get into the bike ride, and I'm not going to say beginners, because I hate it when these people say it's a good beginner adventure bike. Bullshit. It's a good bike for anybody. Okay. I don't like these people take these heavy-duty adventure bikes out there and run them like dirt bikes. I'm sorry, that's just stupid. Pure OD, just stupid. Because not if, but when they wreck, there they are. They're grunting and they're groaning and they're pulling and they're tugging and they're cussing and all this kind of stuff because they can't get the bike picked up. Well, that's what you get for riding a 500-pound bike, okay, in the dirt. That's stupid. But anyway. No, but this bike was built for a guy like me. Am I right? No, I ain't right. But I'm just trying to get you to think about what you're going to do. Pick the bike for what you're going to ride. Pick the bike for the way you want to ride. Don't listen to nobody else. Don't put up with anybody else's crap. Pick the bike that's right for you. Decide how, what, and where you're going to ride. Okay? That's what you got to do. But anyway, now, this bike, I got 600 miles on it. Oh, I don't know what you noticed or not. Look at here. I put highway pegs on it. Everybody says, you don't put highway pegs on a dual sport or a adventure bike. I do. You know why? When I'm running down the road, I like to move my feet around. I like to stretch my legs. So there you go. You can do whatever you want. So anyway, the 500 KLE is a great bike. I absolutely love it. That did not take the place of my XR650. It did not take the place of my XT250. It did not take the place of my CRF300. Did not take the place of my KLE 230. Did not take the place of my 710 array. It did not. It made its own niche. It gave me this bike. Can take what all them bikes can do and touch it. Just stick a toe in there and say, I can do that a little bit. Okay, that's what this bike does. It's like they used to say about the old KLRs. It would do anything but wasn't good for anything. But this bike here is great. Now, riding and picking and choosing what you're going to ride. Like I said, this day is kind of crappy. It's been raining all night. And so I'm picking and choosing. I'm using my head, okay? I'm not crazy. I'm just stupid sometimes. But I don't get real crazy. I know these gravel roads, back roads, are going to have mud holes. I know some of them's going to have they've been flooded. So I pick and choose my road. I look at before I go, okay? Because you know why? Because I'm out here by myself and I don't need to break a leg. I'm almost 74 years old and I don't need to break a leg. I just got a brand new bike and I don't want to scratch it up and I don't need to break a leg, okay? If that makes any sense to you. Always think about what you're doing, have a good time, but use your head. Use your head. And the reason why I say never get in a hurry is because the faster you go, the less reaction time you have. It's just cold hard fact. If you're running 100 miles an hour, your reaction time is pure OD shit. You ain't got a snowball chance in hell. Okay. If you're running 20 miles an hour, it gives you just maybe a couple of microseconds to think about it and to react. End of story. Cold hard fact. But anyway, the KLE 500. I love this bike. It is just absolutely great. I'm not going to talk about how its downsides is, because it has no downsides if you use it for what it was designed for. Period. It's great. Right now, they said the 710 rate set the benchmarks for adventure bikes. That's true. But this here sent the benchmarks for the smaller adventure bikes, okay? Now, like I said, then there again, depend on how you're going to ride. If you want an adventure bike where you can do a lot of single tracks, they make all kind of small adventure bikes, 300, 200, 300 cc machines that are better for that, okay? But that's what I'm saying. Pick the bike for what you want. Pick the bike for what you've got to ride. Here in Illinois, we don't have any BDRs. I've watched these people do these BDRs, and I'm thinking, that's fine, that's great. And someday I might get a chance to do a BDR. We don't have them in Illinois. All we have here is farm roads, back roads, country roads, and there's no BDR. Maybe someday I'll make one. But so we don't have a lot of. You have to pick and choose to find, really roads for a BDR. But like I said, for the kind of riding I'm doing, and for the kind of riding, pick the bike for your ride. Pick the bike for your ride. Don't pick the bike for my ride. Don't pick the bike for somebody else's ride. Pick the bike for your ride, okay? And that's what I mean. They set these bikes up for Dakar Rally. We don't live in Dakar, where in hell ever that is, and we don't have rallies right here, so it's like, so why would we want a bike that's set up for that? Buy a bike that you can enjoy. And the only thing, and the one thing that nobody talks about with motorcycles is they're missing one major point. You know what that is? The fun factor. Just have fun. Just have fun. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, I'm getting too old to ride. I'll be 74 on my birthday. And am I too old? Still breathing. And so it's like, get out and enjoy life. Get out there and see what you can see. There's no mountains in Illinois, at least ways not wrong. We got some hills, but there's no mountains per se. But it's just get out there and I like to ride alone. Why? Because I can do what I want. I don't have to worry about anybody else but myself. Just me. Is that being selfish? Maybe. Now, I do have a friend I like riding with because he's about like me. He likes to stop. He likes to sit down and bullshit and just enjoy the ride. He never gets in a hurry. So pick the kind of people that you can ride with, and that's what you do. But anyway, the klr500 600-mile review, I think it's fantastic. It is geared good, and I tell you what, it's starting to break in. And I seen a couple of reviews that said they thought it was kind of doggy. Well, that depends on what your adrenaline rush factor is. Okay, this thing here it'll let you know it's underneath there, and it'll get you around anything that you want to get into. Now, if you want to go out there and try to race a Hayabusa, ain't no way. It ain't going to do it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Pick the bike for what you're going to use it for. But anyway, I guess that's probably enough of this. The klr500, if I can only afford, I hate to say this because I love my other bikes, if I can only afford one bike and I wanted to touch bases and do just a little bit of everything, this would have to be the bike that I get. Sorry, Honda, I love Hondas. Oh, and speaking of Honda, I hope they do it. I seen where they was going to try to bring back the old XR200 Hondas. That was one of the best bikes ever made, bar none. And I hope they do, because they do, I'll have another new bike. And I don't care, because you buy the bike for what you want. And the XR200 will be the perfect bike to just do the Trans-America Trail, because you don't get no hurry, and it's going to be simple, light, and all this kind of stuff, and you don't want something heavy. And if you're on a highway there, run 45 miles an hour. Who gives a shit? Okay? Don't get in a hurry. But anyway, klr500, hey, I can give it 2 thumbs up. It's an absolutely wonderful bike. It's right now on the market, as far as I'm concerned, for what I use it for and for what I think it was designed for, it's 110%. It's a great bike. Do I recommend it? If you're wanting to just, like I said, just touch a little bit of everything, and not get anything too hard, and you just want to enjoy and have fun, I recommend it, absolutely. But anyway, well, I guess that's enough of that. Hey, as always, ride safe, ride free, and have fun.